Atherum, Atherum, why are you rushing forward at him when you don't have a melee weapon?
Because they're confirming that they're not going to hit each other. One of them thinks it's one of them thinks it's you, Atherin. The other one's like, is that you, Kira? Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we're here with episode 3 of Gundam seed. You know, something has occurred to me already before we get into your recap. You are less impressed with Gundam seed titles than you are apparently with other shows that we've watched.
100%. 100%.
I think every time, like, you don't have much to say, I find, in the interim about, say, Full Metal Alchemist. But you always seem impressed by the episode titles of Full Metal Alchemist.
Whoever's coming up with the episode titles of Full Metal Alchemist, phenomenal.
Alright then. It just occurred to me while we were starting up the episode. Why don't you go ahead and give us a recap? What happened last time?
Indeed. We got the second half of the first sort of strike that we saw, and in the attempt to get the prototype Gundams. They did get 4 out of 5. However, our protagonist clearly needs to get a powerful weapon, aka the 5th one. Then we saw the built-in plot armor. In various other situations, we saw the miraculous escape in a ship known as the Archangel, which came out strategically right near the fighting.
My bad memory is at play now. First off, I was thinking, the phase armor, wasn't that in episode 1? And now it's like, I can't remember. It's like, did the Archangel come out in this episode? I thought the Archangel was still figuring out.
No, so the final shot was the blast and the Archangel coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because remember, I'm remembering all of this as one giant 17-episode block. I'm not remembering it episode to episode anymore.
And just to cause a little bit of drama, if the big fight for this episode had a Gundam using knives that I think is completely impractical if you take away the phase armor, aka plot armor, that the Gundam has.
I mean, you could throw them. They would still be car-sized throwing daggers.
It's, you know what? That's right. Throw your weapon. Unless you can pull them back, throw your weapons away. You don't need them.
Oh, that is funny. Jeez. No, I'm trying to think. I've brought this up literally during a Gundam seed episode in the past.
Oh, also
it might literally be
stuff.
Say what?
Also, top secret government technology. Children, you can't go anywhere.
Right.
To shoot you.
I guess I'm gonna have to try and remember my comments. God, it sounds like the fucking apocalypse is going outside my window right now. Well, no, I also live in the path of airplanes when they land, so I got that going on with the reverb of the guy whose bass is pretty strong outside and everything else. No, I guess I'm gonna have to remember your comment about throwing your weapons when it comes 13 episodes from now to try and stay the same comment again, because it seems very poignant, but it's not gonna make any sense if I try and make it to you right now.
Love it, love it. I look forward to the callback.
Yeah, if I remember, I'm not even making a note. My hands didn't go to my keyboard at all. Anyway, I guess that's it because I can't really think of anything else to bring up. Gundam seed does a really good job that I think other Gundam shows have failed to do, which is to set up the stakes and the characters' participation in it from the very beginning. Yeah. I've shit on a number of Gundams in the past about how not invested I am in the characters because the very beginning didn't push them as hard into what you're supposed to be feeling for them at the moment. And I think Gundam seed does a really good job of these people are in danger. These people are over here on the ship trying to figure things out because everyone they know is dead. These people don't know what's going on, but they're, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of disparate people trying to come into grips with what's going on and figure it out in the same moment.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think I know who my favorite character is already.
Is she a bad girl?
No, she's not a bad girl. As far as I know. She might be revealed to be a bad girl. Secretly. But I doubt it. It is the woman who is just holding the gun to kids.
Oh, Ramius.
Yes. Only because...
We also recognize that she's the narrator at the end of every episode so far, right?
Ooh, I did not.
That's the same voice. So it's not really a spoiler.
It is... She is the most logical one I've seen so far. Because the reason she was doing that was like, this is top secret military stuff. You're not allowed to move. If you leave, to act. So, like, just don't move.
I mean, she's also the one that... She didn't just point guns at kids. She's the one that shot at them in the first episode. Same person.
100%.
Okay. Justin
It's
don't
a
like
war
kids.
zone.
Got it.
Only these specific kids. I hope that they all... I'm not going to continue that statement.
No. I would prefer if the main characters weren't the main characters. That's what I'm saying. All right. Well, to be fair, there's kids on both sides of the war, so... All right. Well, I think we just go ahead and we get into it then. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Does this always just start off on this similar scene?
No. But there are a lot of shows that you'll see over time that do that. I've recently been complaining a lot watching Banner of the Stars because it used to start off with like a little bit of pre-show plot and then a world-building narrator thing. And now in Banner of the Stars, it's just the same fucking thing over and over again. Remember the weapons package that he put on?
Yep.
Now you don't have to complain about daggers anymore.
If daggers are one of your options, that's phenomenal. If daggers are your only option, you're kind of screwed.
Space Whale.
It's Space Bird.
No, there was a giant fossil of a whale in the background. The same opening for a while. You have plenty of time to try and see it.
Yep.
But it's right there in center frame, so I don't think you're gonna have a hard time.
I'll catch it. I'll catch it next time.
By the way, the opening here does list the name of all of the Gundams and the characters. No, not in the Japanese right there.
Got it.
Hold on. There was. Did you read it? That was all their names. Okay. All the names of the Gundams.
Cool, got it. Yeah, I totally got all of them. They're in my head now.
See, that's what I'm talking about, is that when I used to watch this, Griff would have to pause everything, and not obviously during the recording, but when I'm editing and everything, so I would come back and like, all right, well, I paused on that fraction of a second scene, and it said these names, and I guess if you read them in this order, the second frame is these Gundams, so I guess this is this pilot and this Gundam.
While I do appreciate that level of detail, I will not be going into that level of detail.
Yep. I'm the only person
Yeah,
who does
like-
that stuff.
Collapsing land. It's an alright title. That's a big target to be missing.
Welcome to Gundam. We get Star Trooper aim here. I said Star Trooper. I meant Storm Trooper.
I love that they actually gave like an actual reason why stormtroopers have horrible accuracy.
I mean, sort of. In most cases, they don't.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, I believe the titular example of them having bad aim is literally... It's a setup. They have bad aim in that they were leaving, like, evidence to cause somebody to do something.
So the only example I know of explanation of stormtroopers, it was clone troopers, and it was because the cloning process rated the I believe it's the olfactory thing.
Right. Well, Bill Burr plays a Imperial sniper or a former stormtrooper or whatever in The Mandalorian, and he rants about stormtroopers not having bad aim because he was fucking one of them.
I appreciate that rant.
Well, I mean, not Bill Burr the person, Bill Burr's character. I just don't know what his name was.
It's Bill Burr in space.
They're doing the programming thing.
I also like that they included the method of catching the mobile suit, very similar to catching planes that land on aircraft carriers.
Yeah, some things do get logicked out.
I see she is acquainted with the bad girl. He must be important. Look at all of his belts.
I'm a Penta red belt. Two lieutenants and an ensign.
Yeah.
よって今はラミアス隊がその任にあると思いますが、無事だったのは艦にいた下士官と十数名のみです。私はシャフトの中で運よくなお。艦長がそんな。
You just got here. You were shot in the shoulder. You're in charge.
I mean, that's how rank works.
It's true.
はい、許可いたします。
Bunch of kids I took hostage. What of it?
Don't worry about it. If they act up, we'll hold them at gunpoint.
あれのパイロットになるひよっこたちの護衛で来たんだがね。連中は
ちょうど
Dead.
で艦長へ着任挨拶をしていると
Yep.
されましたので、
Yeah.
共に
そうか。
Things got real hot and they didn't make it out.
何ですか。
君
Oh, we lost our
コーディネーターだろ
pilots.
Coordinator.
There is some
Some
people
other
here.
word.
はい。
He said it's a coordinator, and everyone pulled the guns out. So, it's another thing to keep an eye out for, huh?
Yep. This- eventually I'll figure out what coordinator means.
See all the colors I mentioned so far. White, black, red, green.
だが我々がこんなものをこのまま残し放っておくわけにはいかんということははっきりしている。捕獲できるとなれば今ここで破壊する。戦艦もな。
Okay.
侮らずにかかれよ。
ミゲル、オロールは直ちに出撃準備。D装備の許可が出ている。
So
今度こそ完全に息の根を
it seems like it would go
あですか。
green as the
私も出撃
lowest?
させてください。
I'm pretty sure green is above red.
それに君はあの機体のダッシュという重
Okay.
要任務をすでに果たした。
ですが、
I suppose it threw me off because we're only seeing like one to two of red,
何なんだよ。
Sorry, it occurred to me that
white, or black.
pretty sure just means that I'm willing to say it. It doesn't actually indicate any accuracy.
どういう頭してんだよ、お前らは。
I'm willing to
Yeah.
put it on record that I said this out loud once.
ラミアス隊、これは一体。
そう驚くこともないでしょ。ヘリオポリスは中立国のコロニーですもの。戦火に巻き込まれるのが嫌で、ここに移ったコーディネーターがいたとしても不思議じゃないわ。
Again, the natural.
違うキラ君。
まあ、僕は一世代目のコーディネーターですから。一世代目。
両親はナチュラルってことか。いや、
There's a coordinator that comes from naturals.
騒ぎにしちまって。俺はただ聞きたかっただけなんだ。
100%. I know what that means.
ここに来るまでの道中、これのパイロットになるはずだった連中のシミュレーションを結構見てきたが、奴らノロクサ動かすにも四苦八苦してたぜ。やれやれだな。
It's almost like he's a prodigy.
どちらへ。
どちらって、俺は被弾して降りたんだし、外にいるのはクルーゼ隊だぜ。あいつはしつこいぞ。こんなところでのんびりしてる暇は。
So everyone knew who Le Creuset was. Come on, boys, we gotta mount that D.
D 装備だって。要塞攻略戦でもやるつもりなのかな。クルーゼ隊長は。
Are we going into Gundam after dark if we're mounting that D?
しょうがないんじゃない。自業自得です。中立とか言っといてさ。
You get the implication there, right?
水はモルゲンレー
How
I
could
did
they
not.
be natural if they had these weapons? Natural. How could
Yeah.
they be neutral if they had these weapons?
Okay, natural. I was confused by the statement. No,
東京で寝られちゃうってのもすごい。
I partially understand.
キラ、本当に大変だったんだから。
Because it could be a development thing. It could be just a
確かに
defense
そうなんだ
thing.
ろうけどさ。
But
何
it's
が
hard to tell.
数え。別に。ただキラには
I don't know. I mean, it's the equivalent of, say, Switzerland in World War II developing the nuke. Right? It's like, if you're the neutral territory, and this is like not really a good defensive measure, is it?
キラだってあんなもんの
I
こと
know.
なんか知ってたとは思えない。じゃああいついつ OS 書き換えたんだよ。
Yeah, if Kira didn't know about the mobile suits, how did he rewrite the OS?
キラがコーディネーターだってのは知ってたけどさ。遺伝子操作されて生まれてきたやつら。コーディネーターってのはそんなことも大変だったでできちゃうんだぜ。
Okay, so
ザフトってのはみんなそうな
Are naturals humans
そんな
that are genetically enhanced?
いいのかよ地球軍は
You got that exactly wrong. Sorry, I tried to put the pause there to
Oh.
make it funny.
Oh, so naturals are humans that are genetically enhanced.
I'm sorry, did you say aren't? Because I heard are.
No, I said are not.
Sorry, maybe it's your lag. You are doing the breaking up thing still. So I heard are. So no.
Okay, no. Oh, okay, so I had that correct.
To the best of my understanding, naturals are just normal humans.
Got it.
じゃあ脱出にも付き合ってもらうってのか？出てきゃド派手な戦闘になるぞ。
ストライクの力も必要になると思うのですけど。
あれをまた実戦で使われると。
使わなきゃ脱出は無理でしょ。
あの坊主は了解してるのかい？
今度はフラガ大尉が乗られれば。
おい、無茶言うなよ。あんなもんが俺に扱える。
Yeah, because now that we're together, we actually have to get out of here.
OS のデータ見てないのか？あんなもんが普通の人間に扱えるのかよ。
なら元に戻させて。とにかくあんな民間人。
It takes more than bad girl in a military uniform to get out of.
大事な機体をこれ以上任せるわけには。
Get out of what?
そんでのろくさ出てって的になれっての。
That name is so unfortunate.
I mean, you don't know what her first name is.
I think she said it early in the episode. I just didn't catch it.
It's English of an English name.
I believe it was Margaret?
Nope. It's Natalie. Her name is Natalie.
Ah,
You know, close to Natalie. In the same way that her name was like a bad girl.
Yeah.
Which is just bad girl.
yeah.
If this was remade in English, it would just be Natalie Bad Girl.
Oh,
Instead,
gosh.
it's Natalie Bad Girl.
Natalie Bad Girl is a completely different profession.
楽だぜ。こっちは発砲できない。向こうは撃ち放題だ。
お断りします。僕たちをもうこれ以上
That's a rough spot to be in. Trying to get avoiding any sort of casualty.
Oh, I thought you meant Kira's position.
Oh, Kira's position sucks.
Does it? Well, I guess your introduction
Absolutely.
into Kira is the first in a long line of whiny mech pilot protagonists.
I
I
picked
have
up on
to-
on the whiny very early on from the many belts.
I have to say, though, I think Kira is the worst. Among them, I mean. I don't know if he's actually the worst. I just think he's the worst among them.
Got it. Worst for whiny or worst for pilot?
Worst for whiny. I have no idea about the pilot thing. I've only seen 17 episodes.
Got it.
卑怯だあなたたちはキラ君キラそしてこの間にはモビルスーツはあれしかなくて今扱えるのは僕だけだって言うんでしょ
Because in the history of Gundam that I have, you have more emotionless pilots than anything. You have Hiro, who's willing to sacrifice his life and wants to do shit. You have Setsuna, who's a emotionless piece of shit. Setsuna doesn't pass my plank test. Do you ever see the show Ed, Edd and Eddy?
I have.
Okay. Again, if you said anything, I didn't hear it. Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. That's the plank test. If I come up Plank as a character in the show and replace you with it, you don't pass the plank test.
Got it.
That was Setsuna for me. Emotionless. Visually, anyway. Obviously, he had emotion by the end, but...
Yeah.
Mikazuki, same thing. Emotionless, but that's because he based his personality on other people.
Well, there's also, like, if a character can go to a place where they're emotionless versus all the time, that's
talking
valuable.
all the
But all the
time.
time is
I'm talking all the
yeah,
time
all the
versus
time is not so
Kira,
much.
Kira here, who has a lot more in common with OG Gundam protagonist. I'm not gonna name him just so you can be surprised whenever you finally get there. But
Here we go. The big we got the big guns.
you got a problem with daggers? What about a sword?
Sword, again, if my issue with the daggers is it was the only option at the time. If you have more options, have daggers, that's fine.
And this is where I think Kira's a piece of shit. You just saw he could take the hit, right? He got shot and it did nothing to him, which means all the shots that he's dodging and hitting shit, that's all his problem. He's causing that.
That's amazing.
Stop dodging.
You're 100% correct. Yeah, he should 100% just be that suit in the way of fire. That must suck.
Oh, dodged again.
Also, could he not just slice the gun?
I mean, the other guy dodged when he came in, so clearly dodged. Clearly, it's a matter of ability. Oh, same way Frieza got killed.
Yep. I thought he wasn't supposed to fight back.
He can't like risk hurting the colony, which is why I keep mocking him for dodging, because every time he dodges, the colony gets hit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that you brought up the dodging is now really bothering me that... Atheron, why are you rushing forward at him when you don't have a melee weapon?
Because they're confirming that they're not going to hit each other. One of them thinks it's one of them thinks it's you, Atheron. The other one's like, is that you, Kira?
This colony is not going to be around much longer.
Well, you knew that. You marked the name of the episode already.
Yeah. Yeah, not wrong. And then sucked into space.
I mean, you already saw the life pods get ejected out, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, collapsing land. Because Kira kept dodging
He
shots.
definitely collapsed. Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
he could have stopped that whole thing.
someone out there is going to be like, yeah, well, if they weren't firing the shots, then he wouldn't have to dodge them. They're the hostiles. I'm not going to try and defend the hostiles on this one. I'm just saying Kira has one goal, and he stopped dodging. We already know phase
100%.
armor is plot armor. If they didn't show us the fact that he took a full hit and was unscratched, I wouldn't complain about it. Because if we didn't know that it didn't hurt him, then I wouldn't be like, well, stop dodging. I wouldn't expect him to take hits I didn't think he could take. But he took a hit, and we know
I could easily understand if it didn't damage the Gundam, but it hurt him. But
少年たちは何に向かおうとするのか。伴わない感覚の中、迫る現実は彼らを追い立て、開くゲートの先に広がる戦いの闇は果てしなく暗く深い。次回、機動戦士ガンダムシード、サイレントラン。その闇を切り裂いて開け、ガンダム。
Yeah, obviously, as I said before, since you did notice, that is Ramius is the narrator of the previews.
Now, I thought it sounded similar, but I didn't quite make the connection of.
Well, I mean, obviously it's the voice actress. I don't know if it's supposed to be the character, because I don't know how that would be, how that would work in universe. Anyways, you just know what's gonna happen.
Fair enough.
Every time. Yeah, I read it in my early edition. Early edition. That's a reference no one's gonna understand anymore. Do you get that?
I do not.
Early Edition was a TV show about a guy who got tomorrow's paper today.
That's simultaneously incredible and so dumb.
Well, you do 24 hours basically to try and stop something, or I guess depending on when the newspaper said something was going to happen.
Yeah, well, here's the problem that comes along with that is, like, when newspaper, like if it's the New York Times, for example, the stories that make it to the New York Times tomorrow are not prepared that day. They're prepared like a couple days before that.
Well,
and
this
go
is
through editing and all that.
It's like a mystical thing, right? It's like Early Edition. It's not like I got the news reporters and everything. It's like a time traveling newspaper, basically. I get tomorrow's paper today. Because obviously, if you're really gonna break this down, you would like, well, I would stay at my door and wait to see who's delivering the paper, you know? Because otherwise, I would track down. I would start asking questions.
So I could see if it's like next week's paper.
Nope.
But if it's tomorrow's paper, you're just gonna be spoiled on things that have already basically just happened.
Well, no, what would happen tomorrow, basically? Because it's a daily paper. I get the logic. You're not talking about like a Sunday paper. You're talking about the daily paper that reports on things that just happened.
But the daily paper reports on things that happened the day before.
Right. So he has that day to figure stuff out. Look, don't even get me started on... did you ever watch 7 Days?
No.
They have an alien pod that allows them to time travel back in time 7 days. And it's in a government program where basically it's the 7-day program where if a large emergency happens, like a terrorist attack or something, they have 7 days to do all the research they can on what happened, and then they'll send the pod back 7 days to try and prevent it from happening. So,
what?
Like a large biological attack, an assassination or something, they have basically 7 days to try and figure out who did this, when were they able to get their shit, you know, who are they working for, etc., etc., etc. Then you send one guy, by the way, it's just one guy who's the pilot of the thing.
What? Oh,
because
one
it's so
guy.
difficult
Oh,
to
wow.
it's extremely difficult to pilot. Send him back in time 7 days, where he'll land randomly somewhere, and have to call in with his code phrase and everything, and then inform everybody of what they've learned in the last 7 days, to then try and stop from happening, which had happened.
This one guy must have presidential level clearance in every country in the world. That's insane.
No, it's a U.S. government thing. I think in the realm of the show, he's only stopped U.S. level stuff, except for maybe one apocalypse. I think there was one apocalypse. Like there's a disease or something, like a biological threat that gets out there.
Yeah.
And he basically has to find out where the first, like a 12 Monkeys scenario. They have 7 days to try and figure out where the first vector was. Who, like, I think, stole this thing from the CDC. And it's everyone's dying throughout the episode sort of thing.
That's insane.
It's an era of television.
You're not wrong.
It's when Star Trek Voyager first started airing. I think it was also on the same channel. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Gundam Seed.
100%. That was a great episode. I liked the combat. I liked the build of how it's giving clear reason why the protagonist is needed.
Yeah, it's certainly doing that.
I will throw it to what you said about just get in the way of the shots.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was leaning more to the scene that we're on the Archangel, and Kira is throwing a fit that they're asking him to go back out in the.
Yeah,
I think they called it Strike.
That one. I understand what you mean by whiny protagonist with that scene.
Look, I can't say that. That'd be a spoiler for a different show. Yeah. Whatever you think, because I can't say anything, because the circumstances by which I was making my comments the first time through no longer exist, in which case we're not watching the same shows as I was watching then to make the references that I made.
It's true. Well, what really pointed it out to me was the fact that you have one who is willing to do whatever it takes to protect government secrets, and then the other one who's like, I just did that. I want to sit down. It's wartime. If you're in a conflict, you gotta suck it up.
There are a number of times during this show that I have done a breakdown of how much time people have wasted in conversations or standing still, and have made arguments for that could have turned the tide of battle had you not been so distracting.
I have a feeling that we will agree on those moments.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up here. Unless you have something else you want to say about the episode. Nope, you're giving me the prayer symbol.
The episode specifically, no. I'm just excited to see where we go from here.
All right. Well, then I said we go and wrap up. I've been Theta. This has been Justin. We are Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?